Please know that some of the material in this program may include views or recommendations of third parties which do not necessarily reflect the views of Manatee Educational Television or indicates its commitment to a particular course of action. METV cannot be held liable for the accuracy of information that has been provided by third parties.
All right, I'm here with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan from WWSB News 40, and it's rare that we actually get to hear you talk for more than, say, a few minutes at a time. I noticed the big crowds that have been here today at the Hurricane and Safety Expo. Actually enjoy listening to you. I think it was like half hour, 45 minutes to hear the knowledge that you can talk about with all the hurricanes and lightning.
Yeah, TV sometimes at least limits you to time. I only get a couple of minutes each day, but yeah, these hurricane seminars allows me to talk a little bit more in depth about hurricanes in general and lightning too, which is such a big deal here. And I think it's important for people that live here to hear a little bit more about the storms that could have a big impact on their lives.
Yeah, because I heard you talk about the bolt out of the blue with the unfortunate incident with the woman down at the beach. So as far as all that lightning safety information, folks have actually been learning quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a classic example. That lady was on the beach, very close to the water. The rain had stopped. And of course, that's when most people go and resume their activities. They figure the storm's over. It's safe to go outside now that the rain has stopped. But unfortunately, what happens in most cases is that the lightning can come from the blue skies and hit you. And that's what happened with this particular person.
Yeah, that's tragic. But yeah, the safety tips were great. One other thing that I heard you talk about that intrigued me was a lot of the shelters. Someone says, okay, they live next to a shelter, but that may not be the one that's open. So as far as staying tuned to News 40 and other local media as far as learning which shelters are open for that particular region. So that's an important thing to do, right?
Yeah, I think what a lot of people do, and I do it myself, is we flip a lot. We flip around. We go to the national media, we check out all the different media. But when it comes to a hurricane and it's starting to have an impact on your coast, you really want to stay tuned to the local stations simply because they're going to give you information that's pertinent to you and your safety and your survival. We're going to be in contact with the emergency management officials of Manatee County, Sarasota County, and the surrounding counties. And that connection and communication is crucial to your life. They'll let us know about road closures. They'll let us know about what shelters are opening up, like you said. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize that a shelter that opens up won't necessarily be the shelter that you think you're going to be going to. So you have to listen to the broadcast to find out which shelters are going to open up. And a lot of folks would kind of complain and say, well, why can't they just open that school next to me? Well, that's not in the plan, and the emergency officials have to follow a certain plan as far as what shelters will open up. So stay tuned to the local media. That is key.
Well, very good. And I appreciate you bringing a hometown view to all this.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys having me out here.
Good. All right.
Perfect.
Thanks. Welcome back to Lifelines. I'm Robert Day. This is Don Sayer of Florida Power and Light. Appreciate you joining us here today. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, now I see you're here at the Hurricane Preparedness and Safety Expo at DeSoto Square, along with everybody else, and I like this big display here. Lots of damage. Is this from, okay, that's from Andrew, right?
Yeah. This really gives a history of how we have learned lessons through natural disasters, through hurricanes. The Groundhog Day was a big thunderstorm,
Right.
fires up in the Daytona area. And as we've gone through each of these situations, we've learned a lot, and we've modified our process to where we are very good at storm restoration or emergency restoration at this point.
Yeah, because I see all these staged vehicles over here, so this is something that, as far as a response, do you bring in units from other areas of the state? Is that how that works?
Any area that is impacted, we have our crews from all over our service territory, and you can see our service territory is from up at the Georgia border all the way around to Manatee County. And we bring everybody in from the unaffected areas into this area, and if it's bad enough, we bring people in from other states. Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, from the whole southeast came and helped us at Hurricane Andrew and some of these other major storms. 7,500 people worked during Andrew.
Okay, now, that's a big recovery effort. Now, as far as you obviously have a big chore ahead of you during or after a disaster, but as far as the actual homeowners and power users, aren't there things they can do to help you out as far as if they have to evacuate, that sort of thing, to make your job easier?
Yeah, one of the most important things, if you have to evacuate and leave your home, is turn your power off, because when we come back, we're going to turn everything back on. We don't want something coming on in your house, like you leave something on the stove, your stove's turned on, and it creates a fire in your house. So it's best to turn off all the breakers and then turn them back on once the power comes back on, and check everything out to make sure nothing in the house has been damaged.
And also, I assume that another good reason for doing that is once they turn the power back on, there might be surges that come through, and this way, if they're cut off, their sensitive equipment wouldn't necessarily get the brunt of that surge.
Right. During the storm, if they leave before the power's off and the wires are slapping together or a tree gets into the wires, then it will cause a power surge, and we also have a lot of lightning, and that lightning can come into the house and damage equipment. If everything's turned off, it won't come in.
Okay, great. Now, I also see a lot of these portable generators. Now, is there a safety issue with that as far as usage of those generators?
Yes, generators, very important to use them properly. A generator, if you try to energize your whole house, can feed back through the meter, back up our poles, and energize our lines. And our men are working on the lines, and it can kill them. It's very dangerous. The best way to use a generator is to unplug the appliance or whatever you want to energize and plug it directly into the generator. Never try to plug it into the house.
Now, I know that if for some reason, logistically, you need to plug it into the house for whatever reason, it's best to get, like I know in my house, I got a licensed electrician to put in a cutoff switch. I think it cost me about $300, but basically it's physically impossible to have the generator and Florida Power and Light on at the same time. So it will not, it's mutually exclusive, so it flat out will not. So if somebody has to do that, they should obviously check with an electrician, right?
Right. If you do want to have a transfer switch, that should be put in by a qualified electrician. And the other thing to keep in mind is when you're buying a generator, the generator has to be able to handle the loads that you're putting on. So if you're going to energize your whole house, it doesn't do any good to have a really small generator trying to energize the whole house.
Right, yeah, because I know mine, they selected just certain breakers and use that. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you joining us here today. All right, thanks.
All right, thanks.
All right, I'm here with John Osborne from the Manatee County Planning Department. And John, I see this pretty big display here. It's kind of the biggest one at the Expo here. As far as I see lots of different topics. Can we talk about some of these?
Sure. In the Manatee County Planning Department, we cover a variety of different topics related to land development. We also do a lot of policy work for the comprehensive plan and the land development code. If you look at notice of maps, we have hurricane evacuation zones, we have flood zones. We also maintain the comprehensive plan for the county, which has a variety of land use categories that help regulate new development inside our coastal areas.
Now, as in addition to the land regulations and all that, down here with these nifty blinking devices, this looks to me like a whole different set of safety info.
Yeah, actually, in the County Planning Department, we also have a bicycle pedestrian coordinator, and that program is actually partly funded by FDOT. Our bicycle pedestrian program, actually, we coordinate the development of greenways in Manatee County, and they also have some budgetary items where they can actually address sidewalk construction, bike lanes, and a myriad of other pedestrian and bicycle issues. And there's actually 2 citizen boards that help us make decisions for bicycle pedestrian programs. We have the Citizen Trail Committee, which helps us do our greenways planning, and we also have the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Board, which helps us look at safety issues for bicycles and pedestrians as well. So we have a lot of citizen involvement in the programs in the Manatee County Planning Department.
That's great, because I didn't know it was actually that diverse. That's a good thing. I know some of the photos here. This looks like it's right outside here at DeSoto Square Mall. But I think transportation, when they redid the road, has fixed a lot of that from when I was talking to the transportation folks. But
we also have the Wears Creek project, which is coming by the Army Corps of Engineers. It's in the design phases, and that will hopefully help alleviate a lot of that problem in this area as well.
Yeah, and I also noticed here, this I think he told me it was Lakewood Ranch, and that the houses are nice and high and dry, but obviously they're kind of their own little islands, so these folks would want to keep some supplies in hand and that sort of thing.
Yeah, actually, I think that was more of a maintenance issue for that event. With the river, I think there were some areas where some of the bridge construction was, and also just a lot of just a little bit of a maintenance thing where a lot of trees were down. It just kind of backed things up. I think that was the case for that event more so than anything else.
All right, and I see this disaster survival kit. It says for small business. So I guess businesses can go ahead and use this for making their own plans or something?
Yeah, one of the best items that's in that survival kit actually is there is some information about what to do if you're a small business, about developing business continuity plans for a post-disaster. There's actually some great information there, and one of the best tips that I found in there was how to actually keep your data post-disaster. It has great information about what to do with your data before an event. So if you're a business that relies on a lot of computer data, software type data generated, it gives you some great information how to preserve that post-disaster and have that available again and continue your business operations after the storm has come and gone.
Yeah, because I guess technically any business up to 50 employees is considered a small business, and to me that 50 employees that's pretty big. But I guess that's by far the biggest group of employees or businesses here in the county. But I understand this is also free, and at one time the Chamber of Commerce was giving them away, and there's actually a new version that's coming out this upcoming year from what I've heard. So, but this older version, it's still available and it's still good, and they'll have a new version coming out. So, well, I guess there's anything else you want to tell us about, or I'm trying to look around here and see if we covered everything over here.
If anybody has any more questions about hurricane evacuation zones or building flood elevations, you can always call the county, the Citizens Action Center, and they'll hook you up with the right people.
All right, great. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right, we're here with Kathy Peel, and she is Miss Plus Florida America? Did I get that right, or is that backwards?
Miss Florida plus America.
I'm dyslexic. Okay. Now you're representing the entire state of Florida on the national pageant. Is that true?
Yep, I sure am. And the pageant will be held in Monroe, Louisiana, August 20th through the 23rd.
All right. And what is your platform for the pageant as far as your cause?
I'm supporting the LifeLink Organ and Tissue Donation Organization. And yes, I am an organ donator myself. And it's important for people to know that there is a multitude of people out there that need organ transplants. And although it's surrounded by a tragedy, when that subject comes up, it is an important one to know and consider.
Now, I know in my wallet on my driver's license it says organ donor on there, and I try to keep that towards the front of my wallet in the clear window so folks can see, God forbid, I get hit by a bus, they'll be able to say, okay, well, this guy's an organ donor. Mm-hmm. And then is that something everybody should do, that to keep it handy like that?
Yeah, you should discuss it with your family first, because it is going to be ultimately your family's decision.
Right.
So
I won't be able to make that decision because I'll be under the bus.
Exactly. Although you yourself have decided that you want to be an organ donor, the decision is going to come down to what the family's wishes are. So you should discuss it with your family and share with them your strong feelings for or against organ donation, and make that decision ahead of time.
And I know from the firefighters that we've interviewed and the paramedics that we've interviewed on Lifelines before, I know the importance of they can save the patients, stabilize them, get them to where they need. But as far as these long-term, I'm assuming most of the organs would lend themselves for terminal type illnesses. Is that true?
Yeah. Those are the types of transplants that are going to take place: heart, lung, kidney. Those people who need those organs have been sick for a long time, typically.
So as far as all these life-saving measures, in the end, if an organ is needed, an organ is needed. So, well, that's a great cause. Well, we wish you luck. And when is the national pageant again?
It's going to be August 20th through the 23rd. The finals will be on the 23rd night, and it'll be in Monroe, Louisiana. And I'm going up against a bunch of beautiful women. So I have my work cut out for me.
All right. Well, we're glad somebody from our hometown can represent the entire state on our behalf. Thanks. All right, welcome back, and we're here with Larry Johansson and Linda Johansson and Sawyer Ramsey of the Manatee Search and Rescue Group. That's MSAR for short. And we'll start with Larry here. I see this contraption here in front of us. What would this be used for typically?
Well, this is used for patient transportation. As we get out in the wild areas, someone gets hurt, they've twisted their ankle, fallen on something, they can't come back. Well, we got to get out there. Normally you would say, well, okay, we'll call an ambulance and take a regular gurney with them, but they have small wheels, they can't get in the rough terrain. So what we'll do is we'll come out with that, and as you can see, we have a larger tire here, and we'll go ahead and strap them in, and then we can just wheel them out. And if we get really, really tough territory, such as sugar sand that we all have driven through and everything, we'll just go ahead and pop that off, and we can attach a rope to it, comes on our pack, and we can just go ahead and pull it out.
Good deal, because I saw it look kind of like a sled or a boat type thing on the bottom there. Yep. But this doesn't obviously float in the water, right?
No, this is not a water rescue type vehicle. This is strictly for ground.
Okay, good deal. Now, Linda, I see we have these nifty sticks here that you guys carry around. What would this be used for typically?
Basically for stepping safety and maybe searching for items in the dirt, moving things out of the way so that we can see them a little bit better.
All right, good. And also, I think Sawyer, you were telling me something about marking tracks with this. Is that true? What do you like, footprints? Is that what it is?
Yes, and we put little marks on the stick to designate certain areas or certain things that we found.
Okay, like when we were talking earlier, as far as
The length of the tracks.
oh yeah, right. Okay, so basically the how long the footprint is and the stride. That's okay. That's right. I remember you telling me earlier. So yeah, that's good. And yeah, they're awful light and strong. That'd be good. Anything else that you care to share with us here at the Expo?
You might be interested in looking at one of the search and rescue packs with all the equipment that's in it.
Okay, I'm gonna hand you this.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna pick this up over here, and I'm gonna bring it over in front of. Okay. Dang, you guys have to carry all this? This isn't real light, is it? What all's in here?
Well, you have a little bit of, probably the single most important thing is we have water for hydration. Here in Florida, as you know, that's probably the single most important thing that you can do is stay hydrated.
So it looks like there's a little, well, you don't have to get it out, but it looks like there's a little tube or something.
Yeah, there's a tube that comes out here.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to stop and pull over and pull something out and drink it. You can just pop it in your mouth.
I was going to say you can wear it. It's part of your pack, part of your gear, and you have a tube and you just drink as you go.
All right, water on the go. And what mandates that you guys carry all this? Do you just choose to carry all this? Is there something that says you have to have it?
National search and rescue regulations say this is what goes into your pack.
Okay, so you have to have all this kind of gear. Well, that's amazing. Okay, well, I appreciate everybody joining me here today. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Good deal.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. All right, we're here with Rhoda Pulaski, Inspector Rhoda Pulaski from the Braden Fire Department. And I see all this gizmo here and the joystick, and I guess that goes with your fire safety dog? Is that the deal?
It's our fire safety dog. Excuse my voice. No, I don't sound like this. But this is Patches and his fire truck pumper, and we promote fire safety with a little bit of a visual effect.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if the mic can pick it up or not, but there is that kind of weird noise. I'm going to move that just a little bit while I finish talking to you here. All right, so obviously this can be a great outreach tool to children, right?
It's a very good tool for children. Actually, when we bring them to the daycares and the schools and any public functions such as this, the hurricane awareness, it invites the children to look a little bit more seriously at fire safety, because if they say Patches is involved in fire safety, then maybe it's pretty cool. I think they're a little bit intimidated sometimes by the big trucks that run down the road, and it's an awesome sight. So they see Patches pull up with his pumper, and they're like, oh, well, all right. And he talks to them about stop, drop, and roll, and smoke detectors, and what to do. So they're very intent on listening to him, because how can you not?
Now, as far as purchasing Patches and pumper, I understand Rebecca Pillsbury is good at getting grants. Was this grant funded or for some other resource used to get this?
This was by 100% donations from the city of Bradenton business owners.
Okay, because you cover the business district downtown. All right, well, I'm going to say goodbye to you, and then I'm going to talk to Patches and Pumper here for our closing. Hey, Patches, how are you? And I'm glad you could join us here today at the Hurricane Preparedness and Safety Expo. So you do like talking to the kids and having a good time. Well, great. Yeah, I know the kids do like you. And can you do your lights for me, and then we'll go ahead and say goodbye. And thanks for joining us on this special edition of Lifelines here at DeSoto Square Mall for the 3rd Annual Hurricane Preparedness and Safety Expo. Until next time. Bye-bye.